Hey everybody, my name is JP with Recollect Energy. We want to talk about the problem of how energy is consumed and generated in the United States. This is the energy flow of the entire country, and it looks a bit complex, but I want to draw attention to two key things. So one, you can see where energy is being produced, and then in what sectors consume it. At the end of each sector, you see the wasted energy from each of those sectors. And so if you look on a broad scale, the entire country loses about 60% of the energy that we produce in terms of electricity. If you drill down on this per sector, you see that transportation is actually the least efficient sector and only harvests and uses 20% of the fuel that is consumed. This is because of internal combustion engines are capped in the amount of efficiency that they can provide. At best, they reach about 35% efficiency, and that the rest of the fuel consumed is lost as wasted heat. Heavy trucks, especially, they only count for 6% of vehicle miles on the road, but account for 17% of fuel burned and 30% of road emissions in the United States. These problems are addressed by new EPA regulations that will require these trucks to become 40% more efficient over the next decade. We have a solution to this problem, and it deals with how trucks use energy. So the engine burns fuel, and then a belt is driven from the engine's drive shaft to an alternator that generates electricity for the truck. However, a large amount of the energy consumed is lost as waste heat, like we just discussed. And so what we have is a solution that converts the exhaust heat to usable electricity. This allows us to disengage the alternator in a heavy truck, powering instead the truck's electrical systems with our proprietary energy harvesting system and reducing fuel consumption by 5%. So on a broad scale, this device is a thermoelectric energy harvester for the exhaust. It pays for itself at current diesel prices. These are as of a week ago, in about 1.6 years. And after interviewing more than 7 major truck fleets, we found out that the year-and-a-half mark for them is kind of the magical payback period for these kinds of technologies. And so where diesel prices where they are now, we hit about 1.6, and in projected 2018 terms of $3 a gallon, you see a payback period of well under a year-and-a-half. So this is something that improves truck efficiency for fleets. It's powered by thermoelectrics. And so in terms of the market for these trucks, there are 325,000 new 18-wheeler tractors sold every year, and these are the trucks, not the trailers themselves. And in terms of how many of those trucks use extra efficiency solutions, we found a survey of about 80 fleets from large to small, and 14% of the trucks that they purchase include fuel efficiency technologies on a similar scale to what we offer. So our goal as a company is to provide this solution to about 10% of the served addressable market within 5 years, which is only 4,500 units. So Recollect Energy manufactures thermoelectric technology that converts that wasted heat into electricity. We can do that for trucks. We can also do that for a variety of other applications. Our business model centers on making small 20-watt modules that are sort of the building blocks for any waste heat recovery system. There are 75 of these modules in a truck system, and the modules themselves are a component that can be sold into other industries. We also provide an aftermarket solution for heavy trucks, and down the road we'll be able to provide even more industrial systems for refineries and chemical plants. So now we've talked about what it does, let's talk a little bit about how it works. Thermoelectrics are comprised of a proprietary nanomaterial that converts that wasted heat into usable electricity as a Seebeck effect, which is a law of physics. Our IP, so we have 2 patents, one is pending, one is granted, allows us to manufacture the modules, again, those sort of 5 by 5 centimeter modules, in a way that improves efficiency by 40% over anything else that's available in the market. What we're able to do then is provide a better payback period and manufacture more of these thanks to improved manufacturing processes. Where we are right now is we're still very early stage in the lab. We have small prototypes of our technology, and the goal is to scale those prototypes up. So we're doing tech transfer from the University of Houston. We're taking these small prototypes and breaking them out of the academic research cycle and scaling the prototypes up instead of just iterating on a very small scale. That's our goal for the next month and a half. Over the next year, we will begin manufacturing the modules and selling them as components to oil and gas producers who use them to harvest energy from natural gas flares. We will then be able to develop our prototype for the heavy truck system and begin selling that in a few years. Currently, we're working on a $50,000 grant that will allow us to set up our own lab space for prototype development, employ materials engineers to do that work, and then work on the modules with trade partners. Soon, we'll be able to start bench testing the TR1 system for trucks. And from that point, we'll be able to sell those systems into fleets and then work our way up the supply chain to distributors, dealers, and eventually the original equipment manufacturers of these heavy trucks. Our goal right now is to raise $400,000 in seed capital over the next 6 months from things such as grants, SBIR funding, the University of Houston, where we're based out of. They have a small grant that's giving us a kickstart. And this will allow us to begin validating these modules and get it to the point where we're ready to tool a production line. My name is JP Dowling. I'm the CEO. I have a background in energy. Laura Mahaney is a digital marketing specialist, but also has evaluated several other commercial tech transfer opportunities. And our inventor, Dr. Jingji, is also a member of the founding team. We have a great team of advisors, including Dr. Ren, who is the chief inventor of the technology at the University of Houston, as well as venture capitalists in the energy harvesting space, tech transfer veterans, IP attorneys, and industry experts. Our goal with this waste heat recovery technology is not just to hit trucks, but also to go into a variety of applications, including military, refineries, trains, and even jet engines. That's Recollect Energy. This is our pitch, and now I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about ATI. And so the best part of the ATI SILD program for us was the mentorship and the network that we were able to tap into. We have some incredible mentors that helped us really drill down into our assumptions about our product, our competitive advantage, and as an end result, we have a much better roadmap with some much better basis for the assumptions that we're making. And we also have a different go-to-market strategy where we're able to look not only at trucks as a market, but we were able to recognize that market cycle is significantly longer than would support a startup. And so now we're working on an intermediate market, which is those natural gas flares that I mentioned before. Thank you.
Are you timing right now?
No.
Okay, so I'll do it starting for it.